Eric.
Hi, Kassi.
I feel like this is gonna be a weird one today. I don't know why.
Why do you, right out the gate, you're like, the energy is weird.
It's a weird energy. And not like the other one that was a weird energy. This is like a hyperactive energy. I can feel it.
You think it's hyperactive?
I feel like it's gonna be. I had a really scary moment the other day.
Scary moment. But it's not Halloween. You're not allowed to have scary moments.
Weird feeling. It like knowing you might die. It was weird. So
okay.
Trey and I were eating dinner. We were having pizza.
Famously a life-threatening event, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm aware. A piece of the crust like went down weird, and it felt like it was like lodged in my throat, and I was just like, right, like trying to clear my throat. I was trying to take a sip of water, and my eyes are watering, and I like cannot fully get a breath, and it feels like it's like stabbing me in the throat, and it's like lodged there, and I'm like, am I choking? Am I dying? and then Trey, it was only a few seconds. It's not like anything dramatic. But then Trey looks over and he's like, "Are you choking?" And I'm just in there like, yeah. And it took a minute trying to like dislodge this pizza crust from my throat. And then it was awful. Like I felt like it stabbed me in the neck. It was terrible. But after the fact, I was just like, I wonder how quickly I could have died in that moment. That could have been my death.
Well, I mean, if it's lodged in your throat and not your esophagus, it's honestly not generally as big of a deal.
Where does the throat end and the esophagus start? Is that like right at like your collarbone? How do you know the difference?
No, it's in your mouth. It's higher up. It's like in your mouth, like in the back of your mouth.
I consider it all the same thing.
There's two different pipes there, and there's like a flap, from what I understand, that covers it.
Like right in the back of your head? Let me look this up.
Yeah, like back in the back of your throat somewhere.
I mean, I believe you. I'm not great with like human anatomy.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that's how it works.
I can't spell esophagus.
What, were you trying to Google esophagus to see how it works?
Yeah, but you know when you type all the wrong letters and you're like, why would I even think that's how it's spelled?
Well, at least I know esophagus starts with an E. It's like E.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
Yes. Yeah. How is esophagus spelled?
It's ESOPHAGUS.
Esophagus. Esophagus.
I forgot the O, and I'm like, well, that's not right. And then instead of an A, I tried to put another U, and I'm like, that's also not right. Okay.
At least you know it's not right. Like you recognized it.
Interesting. So there's the pharynx, which is like right in the back of your mouth. Then it goes to the upper esophageal whatever. And then you have the trachea, which is where it splits. And then you have the esophagus then continues all the way down to the stomach.
Okay.
So this, and then this is lower esophageal tunnel or whatever. Okay. So really the whole thing is your esophagus.
Lower esophageal tunnel. I don't know why, but the idea of describing your throat as tunnel is weird to me.
It is. Okay. So it looks like from just below your jaw to your stomach is your esophagus. And then where it splits off sort of around like the middle of your neck is where your trachea is and your larynx. I'm sure I learned that at some point. Anyway.
Yeah, you probably did. I don't know if I ever did, but you probably did.
There was pizza lodged in the upper esophageal part of my throat.
That is why you're supposed to chew your food like what? They say like 30 times, like 40 times per mouthful? Let me tell you, I did the rest of that pizza because I was like, I don't want to die today, especially to pizza. That's a horrible way to go. I'd want to. Do you think pizza, what food is the worst way? Like if you're going to go out by way of choking, what food is the worst one?
Probably something liquid because it's like you're drowning.
I mean, I'm not saying worse as far as experientially. I'm saying worse as far as like embarrassment.
Oh, embarrassment. If I was going to die by a food, I don't know why pudding comes to mind. It's just, there's something about like a sweet treat killing you. Just seems unfair.
Specifically, all the things that they put you on when your body doesn't process stuff anyway. They're like, you have to be on a liquid diet because you can't swallow liquid foods right now. And then you die from a liquid.
Jello. They were taking out my Jello.
Yeah, that would be bad. Dying via Jello. Jello seems pretty bad.
You know what would be a horrible way to die? Is from corn smut.
Yeah, again, you put this in the topics thing, and I'm very concerned. I'm very
really
concerned.
glad you brought this up because I'm gonna
I didn't bring this up. You brought this up.
It would be embarrassing food. If you said they died and you're like, from what? And they're like, eating corn smut. That sounds awful. That's a horrendous.
Let me guess. That's the name of like an actual food?
It's the name. Well, it's a name for the food. So here's the thing. Hang on. I'm going to send you a picture of it. Don't be scared.
And this picture will be on our Instagram. I'm
going to bring up that my mom brought this topic up to me, so it's fine. You're going to be okay. Yes, the picture will be on the Instagram.
I'm just saying, and it's just don't be afraid of the name because it sounds problematic.
It's totally fine. I did find this interesting. So it's also it's a delicacy in Mexico. Apparently, it's very common. Like in the time of the Aztecs, and obviously it's still very common now. It's also
that looks like rotten corn.
That's essentially what it is, because corn, like ears of corn, get this infection, and it is this like fungus that grows on the corn, and it makes it look disgusting, and it turns it kind of gray.
Wait. So humans didn't have enough food to eat already, so they decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take this rotten food that, you know, normally you would throw away and be like, this is vile, and be like, what does it taste like, though?
I think it was also waste not, want not, right? They're like, listen, this was our corn harvest this year. We're not going to just give up like this and just waste all this corn. We're going to at least try it and see if someone dies. And they didn't. Apparently, it's completely edible. It's totally fine. It's also called Mexican truffle or corn mushroom. There is an like Aztec name for it. I am not even going to begin to try to pronounce that. But yeah, apparently this is a thing. So people intentionally grow corn to grow this food item and eat it.
But why that name though?
I don't know. Like I would have just stuck with what did I say? Mexican truffle. That sounds fine.
Rotten corn.
I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't even look rotten. It just looks infected, but not
honestly
rotten.
It looks like evil popcorn almost.
That's evil popcorn.
Because it kind of looks like it's popped, right? In the same way, but like in a bad way.
Because it looks fluffy and it's kind of white gray color. And it's still, some of them still resemble corn kernels. So that's interesting. Would you eat this?
I want to know what the texture. What is the texture of that?
I guess like mushroom. I don't know. Let's look into this. Would you eat this though?
No.
No, you wouldn't even try it?
I mean, okay, I probably would. Honestly, I probably would. But it looks nasty.
I would say on the corn cob, it looks gross. In a dish, I don't think I'd really even bat an eye at it. I think it's because I know how a corn cob is supposed to look. You know what I mean?
And so your brain is rebelling against it because you're like, that doesn't look right at all.
That's not what it's supposed to be. But I think let me send you a picture of it cooked in a dish with other food.
Do you cook it afterwards? Like, is it cooked specifically?
So they say that you cook it. I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything about if it's bad eating it raw. Oh, you can use it raw because it's just a fungus. So it really is just a mushroom. But a lot of people do cook it.
So is black mold technically, but you don't eat that.
Okay, but you eat other mushrooms. It says that it's used a lot in soups, quesadillas, tacos, tamales, and crepes. So they use it quite a bit.
Uh-huh.
Here, let me send you this picture. If I send you this picture, maybe I should have sent you this one first, but I wanted a stronger reaction from you.
That's because that's nasty looking. It looks awful.
But see, I feel like off the cob, not as bad. I don't think I'd really think about it. Okay.
Off the cob.
It has an earthy taste.
I mean,
a bit of a nutty
I guess
flavor.
It's better. Honestly, it looks like that picture honestly looks like a bowl of rocks.
It sort of look like a bowl of rocks.
Does it not kind of look like rocks?
It does a little bit look like rocks.
Like shale? Like specifically shale?
Yeah, it actually does kind of it. Yeah, this says it has woody, smoky, savory elements with a touch of sweetness. A lot of people said they can still taste kind of the corn flavor. So
are these people like, can they actually, or are they just saying that because they know it comes from corn? So they're like,
because honestly, I don't know. Like when you see people drink like connoisseurs of coffee or people who are like really, really good at cooking and they can like eat something and they're like, ooh, I can taste the hints of like whatever. And I'm like, can you?
Well, I mean, that's like the wine tasters too. And I'm like, I'm sure to some extent there's some validity to it, but it always seems ridiculous when they're like, oh, I can taste the notes of the lavender and the hills that it was raised on and the sweetness of the water it was watered with. And you're like, what?
I guess this also contains really good amino acids. and is great at helping you absorb calcium. So it's really good for your bones, skin, and cartilage. They said it makes a great post-workout meal. So when we take up running, there we go.
Which we are not going to do.
I don't know why you're so against it.
I'll have you know that was a joke. Ever since the episode when you said that, you've done nothing but like trying to like hold me to it. I'm like, that was a joke. We were clearly kidding.
I think we both know that I couldn't actually get you to go running.
No, you couldn't. But we were still clearly kidding.
Also, there's no world in which I'm going to go running either.
What, you're not going to actually take up running? I thought you were serious.
No.
I was clearly kidding. I thought you were serious.
I would very much like to take up running, but I know I'm not going to.
You know what? That's fair. Like, know yourself and whatnot.
Do you know what grains of paradise are? Sorry, I got on the separate thing. It's 11 uncommon spices. And I was like, I don't
Is grains of paradise just like the seeds from the plant, the birds of paradise, the flower?
It just says it's harvested from a lush leafy green plant. No, so it's Aframum. It grows in the swampy regions of Western Africa. Anyway, it looks like a peppercorn seed.
You know what? I could have guessed it was from Africa even before you said where it grew because of the Afra part of its name.
Aframum?
I mean, I was actually going to ask you, I was going to be like, is that just the African version of like the flower, the mums?
The mums.
The mums. The mums. What is the weirdest flower you think name that you know?
The weirdest flower that I know?
That you know.
I don't.
Without looking up like weird flower names, which I'm sure we could do.
I hate when you ask me direct questions because my brain is suddenly, do I know any flowers?
Why is that a weird thing to say? I hate when you ask me direct questions. Don't ask me. Hey, do me a favor. Don't speak to me directly.
It's just weird. I don't know why my brain does this all the time where like I feel like I know things, but if you ask me directly, my brain just shuts off and it's like, no.
Hey, do me a favor. Don't speak to me directly.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I'm trying to think of flowers now. Oh, you know what? It's not a weird name, but I don't like it. It's hyacinth.
Hyacinth?
Hyacinth? Yeah, I don't like it.
Why does that bug you? It's just a normal. That's like a normal flower.
It's just like pretentious.
Hyacinth is pretentious? Okay, what's another pretentious flower?
That's all I got. That's the only one.
You don't think like chrysanthemum is pretentious?
Oh, chrysanthemum is kind of pretentious. Like, ooh, I'm a chrysanthemum.
I'm a chrysanthemum.
Look at me. You probably aren't going to keep me alive. Look at me.
I'm a chrysanthemum.
I definitely will never grow back. What's the weirdest flower name? I feel like you had a name in mind when you brought this up.
I didn't. It just popped. I just said it. And there is apparently a flower out there called a monkey-faced orchid.
Yes. I've seen those. Like not in person, but like I know of those.
Bat flower?
A
bee orchid?
Flower?
Starfish flower? Dracula orchid? Bleeding heart? Balloon flower? Happy alien? What does a happy alien look like?
I want to know what a happy... Will you post it? I want to know what this looks like.
Happy alien flower. What? And that's a weird flower. I will definitely post it, and you can put it on the. I
do know that when I was getting my arm tattoo, my tattoo artist was basically complaining about. He was just saying that like he likes when he can do it, like different tattoos because he's like the amount of people that come in and are like, I want lilies, and he's like, can we at least pick a different kind of lily? Just regular lilies, like, and he's like, it's so boring. He's like, you'll get people coming and they all want like the same thing or like a slight variation of the same thing, and I'm like, that would probably be draining. You know what I mean? You're like, let me be artistic, and they're like, no. Is this the alien?
Yeah, that's the happy alien flower.
So cute. It looks like
It's weird looking.
It looks like there's a thing it looks like. I'm going to send you what it looks like to me. It's from that movie, Elio.
Oh, you think it looks like one of the things from Elio?
Yeah, it looks like, dang it. I typed in alien and now I'm just getting xenomorphs.
I don't think it looks like a xenomorph. Although a flower that looks like a xenomorph would be kind of cool.
It's adorable. The one that he sent, it has like two little... I don't even know what those are at the top. They're white and they sort of look like...
They're probably stamens, technically.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not totally sure there, but they look like little eyeballs. And then it like the petal, it looks like it almost has just like one petal that goes down. It's super cute. I'm never going to find this alien that I think it looks like.
Which one are you even thinking of?
I think it's like this red one. Oh, it's the red one. the tall one, the mom of the group.
The one that can read minds?
Yeah. That's why I said it was the mom of the group.
So Kassi is saying, for those listening, that if you've seen the movie Elio and you know what the mind-reading alien looks like, then you know what this flower looks like, sort of, except not in any way, shape, or form.
Except in my own creative way. All right, I can't get a picture of just that one, but I feel like there's
in your own creative but objectively incorrect way. No, you're right. Actually, it does kind of
there.
Why do I feel like it's kind of a hybrid between like the floaty pink one and the rock guy?
A little bit. It looks really cute. I wonder where those are native to. I
didn't look it up.
So I'm just like, could I grow one? Probably not.
Happy alien flowers. Where are they native from? It's a perennial, native to the cold alpine regions of southern South America.
So maybe.
Known for its pouch-shaped orange, yellow, and white flowers that resemble a small alien or a Darwin slipper.
That's a reference I'm aware of.
I was gonna say I don't know what that is.
Darwin slipper. It literally just brought up that flower, so it's just another name.
Maybe, yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's the same name. No. I was really hoping that, the famous philosopher, scientist Charles Darwin had invented a slipper. I was really hoping that was the case.
Well, I thought maybe it was just like another flower that looks a lot like this flower, but no, it's just the exact same flower.
I was really hoping he had invented a slipper because that would have been so funny.
That would have been.
And it was like, it looks like Darwin's slipper, like the ones he specifically invented.
Now I kind of want to make slippers that look like this. And then people are like, those are unique. And I'll be like, thank you. They're my Darwin slippers.
And people would just sort of stare at you like you're a crazy person, which is accurate. They should.
Yeah, they already do that. I wouldn't even know the difference. Listen, I don't need to try to keep more plants alive. I'm not doing great as it is, but I would try to keep those alive. Those are cute.
What if they're plastic plants? What if I got you like plastic versions?
You gotta dust them. I think that's almost worse. I would rather just water it.
Which is worse, watering your plants or dusting your plants?
Dusting for sure. Dusting is way worse than watering.
You'd rather water a plant than dust a plant?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I will say like my orchid, I sometimes have to like wipe the leaves off, and I don't know why it's the most annoying task.
Isn't your orchid a real orchid though?
Yeah. But you should clean their leaves for them. You don't want them to build up gunk.
Why? Or is it just because in nature it would be like washed off by rain?
It would get washed off by rain. Bugs would walk on it. Stuff like that. So it's just, like anytime you have a house plant with big leaves, you sometimes have to go through and like wipe them off and just, get the dust and whatever off of them.
I feel like you're crazy, but I'm sure some people in like of our 3 listeners that have houseplants, we are going to be like, but no, she's right though.
But you do, yeah. I mean, it's not like a crazy amount, but yeah, just every once in a while, just take a little damp rag and just give them a little wipe. I don't know. I have very few houseplants.
I don't know why the idea of wiping off your leaves on your plants is funny to me.
That's what I'm saying. It's the worst task. I would much rather water it and like trim the leaves and whatever.
It's the worst possible task. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
I hate that 30-second task.
You know what though? It is kind of funny how there are those certain tasks in your day that are like ultimately easy to do. Like if you actually just break it down, it's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But they're just your least favorite thing to do. You're like, I hate doing that. Even if it takes no time at all, I hate it.
What was your least favorite house task? That takes like 30 seconds.
Dusting my ceiling fan. No, I'm kidding.
That's why you never do it.
Callback to like the first or second episode, I think, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
No, you know what's terrible is I never really, so growing up, like that was a thing we would do. We would clean the ceiling fans or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, I honestly didn't really think about it when I was living in this house until you brought up the ceiling fan thing. And now since that, every time I'm cleaning, I glance up there and be like, oh, I should dust that. It probably is nasty.
You're like, now that I think about it, I actually use my ceiling fans quite a bit. So it's very top of mind for me to dust my ceiling fan.
Because you see the dust cloud come off of it every time you turn it on?
Knowing that as much as I use it, it's just knowing that if I don't dust it on a regular basis, it's just flinging particles, and that's gross.
Nah, that's the circle of life.
And then, so I really only have, now I think about it, I only have 2 ceiling fans in my house, but I use the one in the master bedroom like almost every night. So then I really have to make sure anytime I dust that one, I dust the guest bedroom one, because that one never gets used. So I would hate for someone to come and stay and then they turn it on and it's just like dust.
Well, I know we said it last time, but sort of I'm still picturing the same, like just the confetti shower, but of dust.
See, this is why you got.
Yeah, I have what, 4 ceiling fans, I think, in my house, but I only ever use one of them. And that's the one that's like in the like dining room area.
Fair enough.
Because the other one's in the master bedroom, but I don't ever use that ceiling fan. It just exists. And then there's one, I think, in the other 2 bedrooms as well, but they also don't use those.
Yeah. Kind of wonder, just like sometimes you walk by, you just turn the fan on just to be like, it still works. Walk away.
No, you do it periodically to clean the dust off.
That's how you dust. You're just like, turn it on and we're done.
You open your window, you turn on the ceiling fan, and you just set it to like the direction where it like blows air instead of pulls air. It's just like blow all the dust out the windows.
That's how you know we're old. Life's exciting when you get it clean. You're like, yes.
Yeah, really.
It's the best.
Can you imagine? I was just picturing like you're outside this person's house. They do this regularly as like their method of dusting. Mm-hmm. And you're like their neighbor, and you just like see all their windows open, and you're like, what are they doing? And then just dust clouds come out all the windows. It's just like poof out each one, just these big old billows of dust. It'd be kind of hilarious in the most nasty way possible.
I don't know why. I feel like that's always the joke. Isn't that always the thing when someone falls down a chimney? It's like then out of like the fireplace is all the dust or like the ash.
Well, that's specifically soot, but yes.
Whatever. It's just less skin.
It's not the same thing.
Unless I don't know what you're doing in your fireplace. I won't be presumptuous.
Soot is not skin, it's fire. Well. That's why I was like, I'm not going to assume what you do with your fireplaces. I guess if it's the chimney of a cremation plant, then it's technically not just, I guess, no, it is still ash. Technically, it's still ash at that point, regardless.
Right? There's too many other things to make it.
It's not skin. It'd still be ash, even then.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Why do we have so many words for like the remnants like that? Dust, ash, soot, trash.
Refuse.
Yeah. But it's all very specific.
Rubbish.
It's like, depending on the word someone uses, you know specifically what they're talking about. Noxious.
Rubbish.
Go on.
Garbage. What else have we not said?
I don't know. I was just letting you take the lead on this now.
Well, you shouldn't.
Well, okay. Can I switch subjects, but not really?
I would say no, but sure.
I was listening to a murder podcast. Yeah.
To a murder podcast.
I'm one of those people. What amazes me is these people who spend months, sometimes years, planning a murder, and then they gloss over one really tiny thing that takes them down. And it always amazes me.
One really tiny, incredibly significant detail.
And it amazes me. The one I was listening to today, the lady murdered her husband, and she was trying to stage it as, like, she told the police, like, you know, we haven't been getting along for a long time. I told him I wanted to get a divorce or like whatever. And then she murdered him, but then was staging it as like he killed himself or whatever. Like, I don't know, some kind of love thing, whatever. But upon the investigation, they started suspecting her for kind of a few other reasons. But the thing that really got her was that she used her credit card to buy the items. Like, so like one of the things was he spread like rose petals around his body before he like supposedly died or whatever. But she, on her credit card during her lunch break, went and bought the roses. And so they're like, wait, why did you buy the roses? If this was his thing, like, right? And it was just like one of those little tiny details. And the weird thing is so then like the detectives, I guess, were like, that's super suspicious because we asked her what her day was like many, many, many times. And at no point did she say she went to the store, because she could have easily said, oh yeah, and then like on my way from my lunch break, I stopped at the store and then I came home, whatever. And then they could have been like, what'd you buy at the store? And she could have been like, oh, I just bought some flowers because I thought it would be nice to like liven up the house, right? And then he took one of the roses and pulled all the petals off, right? But it was just like weird how she did that and then intentionally left that detail out, because then they really honed in on that, right? Where they're like, that's suspicious. And I don't know, it just always amazes me when they get caught doing the tiniest thing. All I'm saying is, when you murder me, plan out all the details. That's what I'm getting at. Also,
I was just,
don't use your credit card.
It made me think about, don't use the credit card. It made me think about how like one of my favorite things ever, not really actually, but it is kind of like entertaining sometimes, is to look up like the stupidest criminals ever, and some of the things that people have done that you're like, what part of your brain thought that was gonna work in any capacity? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've heard stories of people that like like bank robbers that called the bank in advance and basically were like, hey, I'm going to be there in like 20 minutes. I'm about to rob the bank, so have all the money ready. Yeah. And it's like, how'd you think that was going to go?
Like, did you think they were just going to be like, oh, that's weird. I guess we'll wait. Maybe they were like innocent. They thought innocent until proven guilty. So they're like, well, they can't call the cops till I commit the crime. Maybe that's what they thought. They're like,
yeah, but the problem was the cops were just chilling there, and then they showed up and they're like,
I don't think they probably considered that it's like that could be taken as a threat, which is a crime. So I probably didn't help them, but they're probably like.
And I've heard of ones where like they did the same kind of thing, but it was like they forgot something, and so for some reason they decided to like leave and come back.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we're gonna rob you, but in like a bit because we're not ready just yet. And they were some reason expecting the bank to not like call the cops.
That's like the I'm sure you never watched it, but that movie Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson. But
no,
it was based on a true story, and it's like you watch the movie and it's these like two. Do you need me to tell you the plot?
I've never seen it, so yes, you're gonna need to tell me the plot.
Anyway, Pain and Gain. It's these two like bodybuilder guys, and the one is like a personal trainer, Mark Wahlberg's character, and then he just decides he's going to like kill this other guy, but before he kills him, he's going to get the guy to like sign over all of his wealth, right? Because he's like a personal trainer to like wealthy clients, and he's going to have him sign over all his wealth. Okay. And then it's this whole thing, and it's like most of the movie is about them trying to like kidnap this guy and how they keep failing at these attempts to kidnap the guy, and they end up kidnapping him, and then like all this other stuff happens, and then they like attempt to kill him, but they kind of botch that up too, and it's like this whole wacky story. It's actually a pretty good movie. It's a Michael Bay movie, but
oh, so everything is exploding pointlessly the whole time?
Actually, I think there's only one explosion, but here's the crazy part. Like obviously it's exaggerated, but for the most part, like when you read like the actual like news story about this event is a real event. And when you read it, you watch the movie and you're like, this is so ridiculous. This never happened. Like I would say pretty much all of it happened, the event wise. I mean, obviously what they said and stuff is obviously made up. But what's crazy is there's so many details they left out of the movie that are even more absurd. Like you're just like, what are...
It's one of those stories where like watch the movie, you're like, there's no way this actually happened. And you look it up and you're like, oh, they had to cut stuff because they thought no one would ever believe it if they didn't cut stuff.
No one would believe this if we put it in a movie. They're definitely going to think we made it up. And it's like, it's wild. And what's really kind of crazy is at no point in the movie do you watch this movie and you feel any sympathy for Mark Wahlberg's character. Like the whole time you're like, he's a terrible person. But obviously, very tragically, some people did die. Things happened. People's lives were ruined. And so obviously those people and their family members are like, really shouldn't have been making money off of this. And this is, and like the way it's kind of done is for comedy, but it's sort of this like dark comedy, right? Like, it's so uncomfortable.
No, not dramedy. Yeah. That's different. Dark comedy.
Yeah, but it's like some of it's so uncomfortable that it's like all you.
Or Clark. It's a Clark.
It's what?
It's a Clark.
But all you can do is like laugh because some of it's so uncomfortable and like you just in your mind want to believe it's absurd. But yeah, it's a really good movie, but it's an even wilder news story if you look it up. It's a crazy news story. I was gonna look up what the guy's name was. And Anthony Mackie's in it. I forgot he was in it too.
Anthony Mackie.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot because it's Mark Wahlberg and Anthony Mackie, and then Dwayne Johnson shows up later. I don't know why I forgot he was in it.
Wait, Dwayne Johnson's not even like the main character. He just happens to be in it.
He's like the third main character. It definitely is Mark Wahlberg's the main character, and I feel like Anthony Mackie and Dwayne Johnson are sort of like secondary characters. Danny Lugo.
Mark Wahlberg, a.k.a. talks like he's out of breath the whole time guy.
Yeah, so Danny Lugo. And this happened in, it looks like 1995. I don't know. But if people want to look it up, it's wild. It's a really wild story.
1995, that's crazy. Yeah. That's so long ago.
It is so long ago.
You were probably like 23 still.
Yeah, I was.
Because you're so old. You're like the oldest person I know.
That's seems wildly untrue.
No, it's definitely true.
I like that you know my husband Trey, and you're the oldest person I know.
Well, because, age is not like literally just your physical age. It's also like your mental age and
like
your
said,
like
my husband. Yeah, and I'm still the oldest person you know.
That's because you're just like a infirm old lady kind of ish. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway,
that was like the other day. So we had a really nice weekend. We just sat at home and played video games together. But we were sitting there, played our video game, and then Trey found a really amazing deal on the RoboMop that I've already told you about. And it was like, yeah, we should get it, right? We should try it out to see how it goes.
Yeah.
It was like too good to pass up. And I was just like, I like that this is where we're at in life, where we just are like, let's just stay home, do nothing, just hang out, and then get really
excited about a
RoboMop. Or like vacuum.
You've reached that point in your life. Everyone does at some point.
It's awesome though. I love it.
Have you actually gotten it already?
No, I'm supposed to get it later. I think Friday is.
Well, then how do you know it's awesome?
No, I'm like, it's awesome that we found out on such a deal, and like I'm excited to try it because I've always wanted to try one, but they're crazy expensive. So I'm just like,
RoboMop.
Yeah.
Is that like, it's like the spinoff of RoboCop, but instead in this time he's like a maid. It's like if you took like a movie where you needed like a Mary Poppins type character, but it was RoboCop instead. So instead he's RoboMop.
Like, what is that movie, The Nanny, or what was it called? I think it was it Vin Diesel?
Well, his was called The Pacifier, but I think there is one with like an action star that was called like The Nanny or something like that. That sounds familiar.
And all I can think of is the TV show.
Is there a TV show called The Nanny?
Yes, and it's amazing.
What's it about? A nanny?
I could sing you the theme song, but I don't want to sing for you.
I was gonna say that'd be weird.
It's an older show, so like the theme song tells you the entire show, but it's basically about this lady, and she breaks up with her boyfriend, and she's trying to sell cosmetics door to door, and she shows up at this mansion, and then the guy's like, I know this isn't your job, but do you want to come be a nanny for my 3 kids? My wife has passed away. And then it's like, yes, absolutely. So then she just moves in with this rich family and starts being a nanny to the kids, even though she has no credentials to do so.
So it's an old show and probably the inspiration for the Disney Channel show. What is that show even called? I'm drawing a blank. It's named after the character, but there's the Disney Channel show that the premise is kind of the same thing. It's just like this random girl that just ends up the nanny for like this rich family with no credentials whatsoever.
Yeah, so it probably is the same thing.
If you've seen it, you know what it's called.
You've seen it, you know.
That's a lie. I've actually also seen it, but I don't know what it's called. I have a weird
feeling that no one else that listens to this podcast knows what it's called.
There's a possibility. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I might be the only one. I don't even know what it's called, but I know I've seen it, but I can't remember what it's called. I don't feel like looking it up, so we're just gonna leave it as a mystery.
All right. The Nanny is an American sitcom that aired November 3rd, 1993 to June of 1999.
Nice.
My sister and I watched it all the time.
Why?
I don't know. It was a great
I don't know why. When you said there was a TV show called The Nanny, my brain was picturing it being like a movie with like an action show where it's like a spy and he goes by the name The Nanny or something, right? Like that's what I was picturing. Is this like, oh, no, it's The Nanny, and it's like because he goes in and takes care of things. I wanted
to like have really bad puns of like it's bedtime, like, and then he like chokes Matt and he's like
night. Did you say night at the same time?
Yeah, I did.
That's not okay.
I was just trying to think of other great catchphrases.
Time to tuck you in. Somebody needs a timeout.
Yeah. All right, so we should definitely start this show. Movie?
I think The Nanny is I don't know. I don't think our version of it, I don't think has enough ability to stand as a show. I don't think people would watch it.
No, it would either need to be a limited series or it could be a book series where we write one book, we see how it goes, maybe write another book.
You write one book, see how it goes. It's incredibly popular and you're like, never again.
I think people could really enjoy The Nanny and just except I don't want him to be a buffoon. I want him to be very smart. I want him to catch on to criminals.
Criminals?
Criminals? I want him to catch on a criminal.
Oh, I'm here to catch the criminals. I am the nanny.
Get them criminals.
I am the nanny. I'm here to catch the criminals.
Is that how Michael Caine says it?
No, that wasn't a Michael Caine impression.
Say it like Michael Caine.
Michael Caine would be like, I'm here to catch the criminals. That was probably not a great Michael Caine, but still.
I don't think we're in a voice mood, right? Like voices mood. What am I trying to say here? Impressions mood.
Voice mood. We're not in a voice mood.
I cannot be doing with voices today.
I can't do any voices, not even my voice. So for the rest of the podcast, I'm just going to be silent. I was waiting for you to for some reason I was waiting for us both to sit in silence for a bit there.
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, this could be really rough if I have to carry the whole podcast.
Do you think you could carry an hour-long podcast by yourself, even if you planned in advance?
I think if I planned it in advance, yes. One time. I definitely couldn't do it on a regular basis.
You don't think you could just vamp for an hour?
No, I think I could one time, but not on a regular basis.
Well, because you need the other person to prompt what you're talking about. You need the conversation prompter.
Yeah, it's and I would have to have a very specific topic. You know what I mean? That I could kind of go on about. I could have facts, things like that. I was thinking about this. We could cut all this out. If one of us was to have to take an extensive amount of time off, and we didn't have enough episodes, would you get a different co-host?
Absolutely. Replace you in a heartbeat.
For forever or just
no, forever. You'd try to come back and I'd be like, nope, it's full. Spot's full. Sorry.
Would you try to find a not friend and make them a friend, or would you just change the name of the podcast?
I'd just take the not out of the name and it would just be just Really Friends. It'd be titled Really Friends.
That's a weird title.
Because it makes it seem like you're trying to convince people.
We really are friends.
We really are friends, I swear. Better yet, you title it Really Friends, and then the whole point is every episode you bring a random stranger on. And I know that kind of podcast exists, right? Where they record it on the street and just have random people sit down and talk. But you just do something like that where it's a random person, but the joke is you're pretending it's one of your best friends each time.
I don't know why you said that. I know you said on the street, but I immediately thought that you're just going down the street asking people hey, do you want to come back to my house and record a podcast? And they're like, no, get away from me.
No, I meant you bring the microphones and stuff to the street, not you just.
No, I realized.
Ask people to try to get them to come back to your house with you and be like, hey, you want to come record a podcast?
In my basement.
I'm definitely not crazy.
In my basement, it's soundproofed.
It's soundproofed. It's so cool. It's soundproofed. No one can hear you scream in there.
I don't even know how to follow up on that.
Much like space, no one can hear you scream.
Oh my gosh. So apparently they found okay. I should give you that train of thought there.
Sorry. I was gonna say that felt very tangenty, and you didn't even finish the thought. You're like, oh, so apparently they found end of thought.
Okay. Well, I started the thought and then I was like, I should explain how I got there. Anyway, so you said in space no one can hear you scream. You prefer space. You find space less scary than the ocean. I disagree.
I don't like space either, but the ocean is worse.
So they just recently discovered the world's deepest blue hole, and it's in the. Sorry, I was trying to find out where it was exactly.
Wait, hold on. The heck is a blue hole?
Is in a body of water, typically the ocean, things like that. But it's basically, as it sounds, it's a hole, usually in the bottom of the rock bed or whatever. And it's caved in. And so the water just funneled straight into there. And now it's a chamber filled up with water.
So it's just they found a cave that's on the surface of the bottom of the ocean that's just particularly deep. Yeah.
But typically what it is, and I could be mistaken, but typically what it is that it's you'll have the sea floor or whatever, right? It'll be going along. It's all the same. And then there's just a huge hole in the middle of it. Done. It's not like the Mariana Trench where you're going trench, right? And it's a big whole long thing.
Going, trench.
But it's like,
I don't know why the way you said that was very funny. It's like where you're going, trench.
Yeah, but like the trench is a big long thing. It comes, to an edge. It goes down, whatever. This is like flat hole, flat.
Okay.
Anyway, the deepest one.
Going, trench versus flat hole, flat.
So before.
The two ways that geography can be.
Sometimes it goes
famously
with the ocean because everywhere else it's like flat, mountain, flat. And then
you need to become a geography teacher immediately.
This is the Grand Canyon. It's like flat, big hole, flat.
No. Flat. Canyon, flat.
Okay, but I was good.
The Alps, the Swiss Alps, one of the most famous mountain ranges in the world. It's just flat. Lots of mountains, flat.
Flat. So I was just going to tell you about because they just found this new one. It's now become the deepest one that they have on record. And it is, as far as they know right now, it goes 420 meters below sea level. But they also have not actually...
Well, I'd like to think it's below sea level.
They haven't reached the bottom yet. So...
Just tie like a heavy weight to a dude and just throw him in.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but that whole, where you, collapse in on yourself.
I mean, just... Okay, so let's slap a heavy weight to a camera and throw that in.
I just really love when they do deep sea diving and then they find all these new creatures that we had no idea existed.
Yeah, but I mean, by that metric, as we've said in a previous one, just go to Australia and you can find all kinds of creatures we didn't know existed.
Nah, I'm okay.
And also lots of animals. No, I'm kidding.
Nah, I'm okay. Australia's we've already said that.
That's because there are way too many scary, terrifying, deadly creatures there. Like the snakes and the spiders and the everything else. Not okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot about that. Then you said something about space and my brain...
I was going to say, why'd you go to that from space? Because the ocean is literally the opposite of space.
Yeah, because I said that you said in space, no one can hear you scream. And then it just popped in my head that you are less afraid to go to space than the ocean. And I feel the other way around. And then I just remembered seeing this morning a story about how there was this, place in Chetumal Bay, Mexico.
Chetumal.
I definitely didn't say that right. But they thought it was 275 meters deep, and now they figured out it is actually 420 meters deep. And actually, that's just as far as they went.
That's more than double the distance. How can you get that wrong on your estimation?
Well, the thing is that they're they got to test it, and then they got to be like, oh, but we don't know. We got to keep testing it. And they're like, oh my gosh, look at all the things we found out. We should better go test this again. And that's what we call job security.
And just being wrong with your first estimation is how you get job security. You're like, this puddle looks like it's probably at least 10 feet deep. It's like 400.
Yeah. Have you ever got a quote from a contractor? They're like, oh, this will cost this much and it'll take me 6 months. And then weirdly enough, 8 months later. Yeah.
No, though. You're right. No, you're right, though.
You're right, though. You're right.
You right. It's very unfortunate that you're right, but you are right.
But you know.
Yeah, contractors are one of those things. No shade to contractors specifically, but
I'd be the same
why
way.
Are so many of them bad?
I'd be the same way. I would overestimate my abilities as well. And I'd be like,
no, but my family we've had, generally speaking, very bad experiences with most contractors. 90% of the time when we use contractors for stuff, they do stuff wrong, or stuff is not they don't pull permits, or there's just issues. So it's that's why one of the reasons we tend to do it ourselves is because it's if we're going to have issues, we might as well do it and have the issues ourselves instead of paying someone else to have issues.
If it's going to be wrong, I only want to be mad at myself.
Yeah, to a small extent. And it seems terrible, but it just has happened a lot.
I don't think I've ever hired somebody to do work on my house or anything, and it went, oh, actually, no, that's wrong. I take that all back.
I was going to say, what about a certain hot tub and deck?
It wasn't the hot tub. The hot tub was fine. It was the deck. But that was so bad, I blocked it from my mind until just now.
You haven't talked about the whole hot tub debacle on the podcast. I feel like you should.
Oh, my gosh. Well, again, it wasn't the hot tub. The hot tub was fine. It was building the deck. And it was, listen, that's a whole thing. It was, oh my gosh. But when did that happen? Was that like 3 years ago?
It was 2 years ago because it was 23, I think, 24 when it happened.
Yeah, that was awful because I hired, we're like, we could build our own deck, but you know what? Let's treat ourselves. We've saved up some money. We're going to hire someone to build the deck. And we got some quotes and we're like, okay, great. We found this one company. They had a pretty good quote for a steel frame deck with the, what are those? The like Trex boards where it's like, they're not wood whatever.
Yeah. I think it is Trex. Yeah.
But yeah. And it was like, what? Oh my gosh. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll start in June. Like middle of June, we'll be done by the beginning of July. It's only going to take like 2 weeks to put this deck in. And then we had torrential rainstorms, so that got pushed back. We're like, yeah, we totally understand that. That like you can't help that. So then they get started like beginning of July, and then there was a whole issue where we found out they didn't pull permits. That was the whole thing, and we called their engineer, and their engineer's like, he's like, yeah, the problem is they said the deck's too close to the property line. And then we were talking, then we had to do all this. So we had to call their engineer, then we had to call the city, and we're like, no, there's like, it was something ridiculous. We're like, there's like 20 feet till the property line. And then they're like, yeah, well, the map the sketch they gave us, it's like 2 feet to the property line. And I don't know if the guy just like dropped a zero or what, but basically we found out that engineer should not be doing that job. He didn't understand it all. And then I told them, I was like, yeah, you guys have the wrong measurements. You need to fix the plan, right? And then they're just like, no, these are the measurements we have or whatever. And we kept going back and forth. And they wouldn't change it until I finally called them. And I was like, listen, I have now redone the mapping. I have sent it to the city. I have pulled the permit, like all this stuff. It was so ridiculous. And then what was it after that? Then after that, it just went on and on and on. And then like we kept having to push other things back because they kept being like, they were behind schedules. So then they were like, well, we can't come finish the deck yet. And then there was a point where they didn't order enough materials. And we're like, what are you doing? And then all of this, they go to get it inspected. And the inspector's like, yeah, you have to have handrails. Like, what are you guys doing? They never put the handrails in the estimate. Oh, also, the whole reason we got a deck is I had a cement pad. And I was like, I don't like the cement pad. So we're going to cover the deck or cover the cement pad with the deck and we'll put stairs in to lead to the grass. I came home one day after work. They had poured an entire pad of concrete in the grass and I was livid. And then when I called the owner, he's like, well, you know, that was a lot of money in concrete that we never even charged you for. And I'm like, of course you didn't charge me for it. I didn't want it.
Yeah. It's like you didn't charge me for it because I didn't tell you to put it there.
I go, I don't care if it's free concrete. It was concrete I didn't want. Oh my gosh, that was a miserable summer. And so then I think we finally got it done in like, it was like October or something.
I think it was something like that because it was like, I think it was like a multiple like 3 month process or something.
That was the whole thing is we had bought a hot tub and we had scheduled to get the hot tub delivered, but we kept having to push that back because the deck kept getting pushed back. And so it was like, we were supposed to be done with this deck in the beginning of July. We were supposed to get our hot tub in the beginning of August. And we're like, that's plenty of time, right? Even if something goes wrong with the deck, that still gives us a whole month, whatever. And so we kept having to like push the hot tub back because we're like, we gotta get the deck done before the hot tub to be delivered. And so that was a whole mess. And the way our property is, we have a big tree and then like the neighbor's house, and they had to bring a hot tub in on a crane.
Yeah, but at least that was just completely unrelated. That was just like...
That was unrelated, and that was kind of fun and like whatever. But oh man, yeah, I totally forgot about that whole, oh my gosh. And then when the guy told me, he's like, you don't need a permit. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? Like,
You're the contractor, and you're telling me we don't need permits to put in a deck.
Yeah, I get lots of people do things without permits. I understand that. But like, if you're paying a company to do it, they should be pulling a permit. That needs to be happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was wild. That was a wild, wild time. That guy was insane. That owner, like anytime I talked to him and I would just kind of get upset and I would just be like, what are you talking about? Like, what is going on? And he was just trying to convince me like, no, everything's fine. I'm like, what? Are you insane? you don't even know how much free concrete you just got. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want the concrete.
You're like, I don't care. It's not about the concrete.
It was just so funny. It's like, oh my gosh. And then I thought about having the concrete tore out and then billing them for it. And then I called this concrete company and the guy comes out and he's looking at it and he goes, it is really nice concrete though. They did do a really great job. Except then I forgot about this part. At the end of the summer, we kept having to shut our sprinklers off, right? Because they're out there working in the yard and stuff. So our front yard is not looking great. And that's fine, not a big deal. But we're just like, that's weird. Like, we've turned the sprinklers back on. Everything should be working. Then we had someone come out and look at our sprinkler system because we're like, something clearly is wrong. And when they poured the concrete we didn't want, they broke a sprinkler line. And so the water had been spraying up under the concrete for like weeks.
I don't know if I knew that part of the story.
Yeah, I just like noticed it after we started really investigating, because then there's just like a notch in the bottom of the concrete where the water's been like I don't know, eroding the dirt away.
Yeah. And you were just like, this is not okay.
That was a whole other thing. It was so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Thank you for bringing me back down that memory lane.
You're welcome.
I blocked that from my mind that whole summer. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome for that.
Yeah, there was like, oh my gosh. And here's the worst part. So I have dogs, right? And they're little dogs and everything. And they have to go outside quite a bit. And so for like 8 weeks, I couldn't take them out the back door. I had to take them through the garage into the backyard, into this like fenced off area we had made for them. But we had made it as like a temporary thing because it was only supposed to be like a 2-week job that turned into an 8-week job. And so it was just like anytime you had to take the dogs out, it was like this whole production to get them through the garage. And then anytime you let them in the garage, they want to go sniff everything and like get in every corner of the garage. And you're like, can we just go to the back door and go outside? Yeah. Oh, that was a whole thing. Yeah. But it's fine now. Beautiful deck.
And the deck, I was going to say, and the deck is very nice. It does look very nice.
It was it worth it? Yeah, because actually, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was the other thing. So they did not quote us correctly. And we knew that. And we were like, we're going to go with that company because they're way too low on their quote. And then the owner was like, again, when we were fighting about the concrete, he's like, well, I don't know why you're upset. You're already getting this deck out of steel. And I was like, that's the quote you gave me. And he was like, yeah, they should have never given you that quote. And I'm like, how is that my problem?
You're like, first off, not my problem. And secondly, again, I don't want the cement though.
I was like, that's the quote you gave me. But somehow he was like mad at me about it.
That's because they made a legitimate mistake when it came to the cement and the concrete, and which he was trying to like make it not his fault.
Between having to give us the handrail they didn't pay for, the concrete they didn't plan for, the amount of time, the extra material they had to order because they mismeasured multiple times, I'm positive they lost money on that deck.
Well, to some small extent. I mean, I know it's people's livelihood, so it's not the nicest thing, but there's a tiny part of me that's like, honestly, good.
Yeah, my thing is like, if they were a smaller company and had they been, I don't know, I feel like more comedy, I probably would have felt bad about it. But like, they're a larger company. They do many, many decks. I see their advertisements a lot, and every time I see them, I'm always like, ah.
You're like, you. How dare you?
Oh man. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure, like, listen, I hope the engineer figured it out. I hope the guy that gave me the wrong quote figured it out. I hope they didn't lose their jobs. I hope they were able to learn from their mistakes and keep their jobs.
And pull permits the next time.
And pull permits. Oh man. Gosh. That's so funny.
And wasn't it something like you didn't even realize they hadn't pulled permits, and that like there was stuff that was getting stalled out, and you're like, why is it getting stalled out? And then you figured out it's because they hadn't pulled permits or something? I thought there was something like that. Like you didn't even realize that was what had happened initially.
So stuff kept getting delayed. And then I started looking at reviews of the company because I was like, that's really weird. I had thought, like, we had like seen that they were a pretty good company. They had pretty good reviews. I went on And right around the same time, a bunch of people were leaving reviews about this company. And a lot of the reviews had said they didn't pull permits. And so then we went and looked on the county website and there had never been a permit pulled for our property. So then that's when I contacted them and I was like, how come you guys don't have a permit? What are you doing? Because yes, ultimately the company's pulling the permit, but as the homeowner, like you have to be sure all that stuff is happening. And so it's just like, once things were really starting to get weird, then I started like looking into stuff more and I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here?
Well, you know what? Maybe it was just that one time. Maybe they were like good contractors the rest of the time. And like that period of however many months, like stuff was getting backlogged and stuff was slipping through the cracks.
I will say, because it was a summer. We had like crazy rainstorms through June. And there was like a lot of flooding. Do you remember that? And so I think they did get pushed back. I think they got overwhelmed. And I think they had a lot of stuff slipping through the cracks. But that is so funny that I was almost like, because I was thinking like we've had windows installed. We've had our roof done. We've had our driveway fixed, like stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that was all really easy, pleasant experiences. No big deal at all. And then as soon as you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about the deck.
Yeah. I will say, when I said that my family's had good experience with contractors, it's never been that bad.
Yeah.
It's always been like minor things, but still things that are technically done wrong.
I wonder that, I don't know if I ever told you, but when we bought our house, our basement had drop tile ceiling.
Okay.
I don't know why they put for some reason in this house, like they put the big rubber baseboards that you see like in office buildings, and then they had drop tile ceilings in the basement. I have no idea why.
Somebody really loved that office aesthetic. Better yet, it's because they were doing like the working from home thing, but they wanted it in the camera to look like they were at an office.
They're like, any pictures they post, they want it to look like they're in office. So we pretty much immediately were like, we're going to tear the drop tile ceiling down. And so we did that. And then we just sprayed the rafters. We just painted those and just left an open ceiling in the basement. Yeah. But when we were taking the drop tile ceiling down, we took the smoke detector off. And the wire from the smoke detector was burning a hole in the tile of the ceiling.
That's ironic.
It was like charred, and like you could see it was burning. And we were just like, we are so lucky that the house didn't burn down from the smoke detector.
It's very ironic that your smoke detector was at risk of burning your house down.
The fire was started at the smoke detector.
I feel like I've seen pictures of that before, though, like house fires, and it's like what caused it? It was like the smoke detector.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it, right? And then especially like if I don't know if they hired people to do a lot of the remodel in the basement or what, but there were a lot of things that I'm just like, what are you doing? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Who signed off on this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's awful. I have nothing else to say.
Well, and that's why you and those contractors are not friends.
Okay, I'm like, how are we?
We didn't have any sort of like, I'm mad at you anger thing.
I'll think about why we're not really friends, but as of right now, this is why we're not really friends.
And that's why we're not really friends.